Hello and welcome to another Bloomburrow draft. I'm Paul Cheon, and today we are sitting at rank number 62. I feel like every time we do one of these, I end up with a decent rank, but every day there's just all these grinders that pass me by as I go to bed. So we have to continue fighting to hopefully maybe crack the top 50 by the end of this draft. The last draft was pretty nice. We had a very nice black-white deck with a bunch of life gain, but sadly, we ran into some pretty good decks, and I think we lost 7 out of 8 die rolls, and that probably contributed to the overall record. But it's okay, today's a new day, and hopefully we can turn things around. Now, before this draft starts, I did want to say that this video is brought to you by tcgplayer.com. Check out tcgplayer.com for all your TCG singles and sealed product needs. If you want to purchase any cards through tcgplayer.com, make sure you click that affiliate link in the description below. Additionally, this video is brought to you by heavyplay.com. Heavyplay.com is the place to go to for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. If you want really top-notch deck boxes, dice boxes, sleeves, playmats, and more, make sure you check them out. Heavyplay.com/paulcheon will get you 10% off your first order. Additionally, if you're going to be at PAX West this coming weekend, they will have a booth from August 30th to September 2nd this weekend. So make sure you go ahead and say hi and tell them that Paul sent you. All right, let's go. Ooh, you know, I haven't played with that one yet. Darkstar Augur. That's an interesting one. I have beaten people trying to go deep on Darkstar Augur, but I haven't played it just yet. It's a pretty good card. There's also Vren, the Relentless, and Feed the Cycle. So the 3 best cards in this pack are black. The question is, do I want to... I think the best card is Vren, the Relentless, but it's a blue-black card. So do I want to first pick a blue-black card or just take a Darkstar Augur? You know, I haven't played with this card. I've played a bunch of decks with Vren in it already. So I'm going to take the Darkstar Augur as a first pick. I think it's a little more flexible. It doesn't pigeonhole us into just being blue-black. So I will take the Darkstar Augur over Feed the Cycle and Vren just to try it out. And follow that up here with a Consumed by Greed. I just feel like I draft black a lot, but hey, the 3 best cards in that last pack was black. Now we're going to have to try our absolute best to cut off black as much as we can, fully knowing that there's a good chance we might get cut off in pack 2, given that the best cards in that pack were Vren and Feed the Cycle. So if they take the Vren in the last pack, then they might just go ahead and take Tidecaller Mentor and just kind of move in, which is unfortunate. This pack's pretty good, though. There's a Tidecaller Mentor, there's an Intrepid Rabbit, and there's also a Polywallop, but no reason to move off of a premium removal spell like Consumed by Greed here. I wonder if I want to keep, you want to keep your curve low and have some life gain. So Darkstar Augur does seem that it's at its best in maybe like a black-white deck or something, but we'll see where this goes. Here we have Cruel Claw's Heist, and we are starting out with all black cards, and this pack is not that strong beyond that, right? There's just nothing that's exciting in this pack. I haven't really played with this card very much, but it seems really interesting. What if we go like super close to mono black? Maybe this is a pretty good hand disruption card. I want to try it at the very least. This is a draft where we just try things. I haven't played with Darkstar Augur, and I haven't played with Cruel Claw's Heist. Wix Patrol I'm going to take. There's a 4th pick, Intrepid Rabbit, which is quite good, along with the Jolly Gerbil, so white might be open here as well. But given that this is just a premium black removal effect, I should probably go ahead and take that. Although not a very good combo with Darkstar Augur, but wow, that's a couple of good white cards. Notably, the Gerbils is pretty nice because we already have 2 gifts. Two cards that give gifts, but I do think it's probably best just to take another black card here. Maybe we just go mono black? I don't know. It's on the table here. Moving on to this pack, we have Flamecash Gecko, Coiling Rebirth, Sunshower Druid, Dire Downdraft, and Thornplate Intimidator. Is this just a draft where we just try out a bunch of rares? I'm kind of in for it. Coiling Rebirth plus Wix Patrol is a really nice combo. I think the Gecko is fine if we do end up maybe a Black-Red Lizard deck. Black-Red Lizards is also quite strong. Huh. Yeah, I'm going to take the Gecko. I think the Gecko is probably better there. I just don't know that I need another expensive card either, so I'll take the Gecko in case Black-Red is where we need to be. And then move into this pack where... not that much. There's a Plume-Creed Escort if we wanted to move it to Black-Blue. This card is just fine. Mind Drill Assailant is fine if we want it to be blue-black as well. But also just a fine card if we're just straight black. Don't really care about Whisker Quill Scribe, so I think it's between the Assailant and the Plume Creed. I guess I'll just take Plume Creed just because it's a cheaper card, and then just see where this goes. Then moving on to pick number 7 here. Man, this is a bad Darkstar Augur deck, let me tell you. There's a Stormcatch Mentor, but that just seems a little bit too far away from what we're trying to do. Also, blue-red isn't necessarily the strongest. I guess I'll take Early Winter. Not a big fan of taking this card, but it is just another removal spell. And now we have pick 8 with another Plume Creed Escort. I don't really care about Dire Sight. I don't really want to be taking too much more damage anyways. And there's also an Uncharted Haven. I do think I'm going to take the Escort. It's probably worth it just to take here. But noting that we might get cut off in packs 2 and 3 just because we passed the Tide Color Mentor and the Vren. But we'll see. We will see. We've got a lot of strong black cards. 4 strong black cards. Couple of Escorts. Maybe red wasn't super open. We just saw the Flame Cash Gecko. So I don't know that that's a direction that we want to go. Saw a couple of Plume Creed Escorts. And then at least early on, we saw a couple of white cards. But then white also seemed to dry up afterwards. So blue might be where we need to be, at least in our seat. But recognizing that in packs 2 and packs 3, we might not get everything that we want. All right. So yeah, this was the pack. Oh no, this is pick 8. No, pick 9. So the black removal spell and Vren, yeah, of course, didn't table. I don't really ever see myself playing a second Early Winter, and I don't really want the Dire Sight, so I guess I'll take the Thornplate Intimidator. Then now I see some mediocre red cards. I'll take a Pearl of Wisdom in case we want some card draw. I think I'd rather have this than Dire Sight in this deck because I have the Darkstar Augurs. The problem is there is at least one other Dimir Drafter. I'll take, I don't really like Nightwhirl Hermit very much at all, so I'm going to take the Harnesser of Storms in case maybe we can draft like a red-black mid-range deck with a bunch of removal spells. Could keep this on the table. That was a pretty late Harnesser of Storms. Although I guess we only have 3 spells right now to go with it, so... Kind of interesting. We started out pretty strong with a bunch of black cards, but then it wasn't really super clear what our second color needed to be. Wow. Okay, well, blue is certainly open. Last pick Dire Downdraft is excellent. Noting that there's at least one other blue-black drafter at the table, but Dire Downdraft tabling is awesome, so happy enough with that. And now we have 10 playable cards. Certainly can cut like the Intimidator and maybe like in Early Winter, but we'll see how this goes. Moving on to this pack, we have Feed the Cycle, which is a really good removal spell, and then Ygritte that I could play potentially on the Splash. I don't actually know. Like, I have no mana fixing right now. I didn't see any green in pack 1, really. So this would be just like a big creature on the Splash. I think I'm actually just going to take Feed the Cycle here. This is just this is an excellent removal spell. And so I think I just would much rather just have play a blue-black controlling deck and utilize the Feed the Cycle to win. Here I'll take another Consumed by Greed. Excellent removal spell. And yeah, all right. We see a third pick Tidecaller Mentor. We do need some extra creatures here, so I think I'm going to take that over Stargaze and Mind Drill Assailant. And now we have another Dire Downdraft. I'm not the biggest fan of Into the Floodmaw. Unsurprisingly, we're seeing green the other direction just because we didn't pass any green. So the person we're passing to correctly also recognizes this. I don't think I want to play the Mudflat Village because I have Cruel Claw's Heist and Consumed by Greed. So this is just like a colorless land. So I think I'd rather just have a Dire Downdraft. Nah, I take it back. I'm just going to play more mana fixing. This card is just so good, especially with Wix Patrol. All right, I'm going to take the land also because it feels like we're going to be pretty heavy on playables. So because I think I'm just going to be playables flooded, it's good to then take a land if possible. Like the thing is, this deck could certainly also just play like 17 lands and maybe a Fountain Port Bell and still be fine. Would like a little bit of self-mill here if possible. Obviously we're blue-black, but being able to get something back with Consumed by Greed is quite strong. Here we have the choice between like a Bellowing Crier and a Glide Dive Duo. I think I'm just going to take Glide Dive Duo. This is just a solid creature overall. And the Bellowing Crier, I think, is pretty replaceable. But it is something to do on 2 and it loots me. And I need something cheap. You know what? This is kind of wild, but I think I'm actually going to change my mind and take the Bellowing Crier here. Just because it's something to do early. Here we have a Pawn Prophet, but man, double blue, double black. Pawn Prophet seems like it's going to be pretty tough to cast. Can I Splash Portal here? Not really. I can take another Intimidator. I mean, this has the most upside. I'm going to take this and then see if I can try to find some better mana fixing. Like take Bells and such higher to make this wet better. I'll take another Plume Creed Escort here. Seeing a bunch of Frogs cards here in pack number 2. I mean, 2 mana, 2/1 Flash Flyer is still fine. But definitely need to put a high priority on Bells and Uncharted Havens or whatever to make this work. And yeah, we're not seeing a whole lot of black in this last pack. Just because, you know, we pass all the black. Here we have Long River's Pull versus Scales of Shale. All right, I'll take... You know what? Let's just draft like a Drago control deck and see how this goes. I do like Scales of Shale, but our creatures kind of stink. Scales of Shale is nice with the Darkstar Augur, though, because it allows me to gain some life. Our mana is horrible, by the way. Our mana is absolutely disgusting. Take some, like I said, I'm going to take Havens very, very highly. And possibly even Bells. Wow, cash grab with 3 cards left, huh? A dire downdraft. All right, we're getting all the downdrafts. You know, blue-red also looked like it was somewhat open. And now the best card in this pack is a Lumra, but we can't take it, sadly. There is an Eddy Merc Crab and a Spellgyre. We have 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We do have 9 spells. I don't think that anybody is in blue-red. This deck has a ton of instants. Spellgyre can be really, really good here. But we already have a Long River's Pull. So maybe I take the Crab here. Nah, I'm going to take Spellgyre. I want to draft like a fun draw-go deck here. That's what I'm going for. Here, I will just take a Tidecaller Mentor. Pretty solid pack. Higher Claw's very, very good in Lizards. There's a Feed the Cycle here, 3rd pick. Certainly going to take that. There's a Glide Dive Duo, notably. And what do we cut so far? I mean, we can cut like... I'm not sure which one's better between the two here. Probably the Assailant. And now we have this pack. Wow, Thornvault Forager and Builder's Talent. All kinds of nice stuff. I'm going to just take Moonstone Harbinger as just a nice blocker. We don't really have that many ways to gain life. But we can fly over, potentially. Really, really focusing now on just trying to find some removal. Not removal, sorry. Mana fixing. Uncharted Haven, slam it. Slam it. Intrepid Rabbit, Blooming Blast, whatever. That is, I am super happy about this. You know, I would love another one, by the way. Another Uncharted Haven would be fantastic. Now I'll take Glide Dive Duo. I am in the market for like one more finisher type card, so I do think this card's fine. Well, maybe Lizards was where we needed to be. There is a Hearthborn Battler there as well. Do we want Shore Up here? I mean, I have 3 Shore Ups here already in the Plume Creed Escort. So Shore Up and then Huskbuster doesn't seem very good here. I mean, this pack is just not very good in general. I'm just going to rare draft. I don't think I'm playing any of those cards. Yep. I guess it was Lizards. It's obviously too late. But it looks like Lizards was where we needed to be. That's an 8th pick, Fireglass Mentor. Not really a Waterspout Warden deck. I guess I'll take a Psychic Whirl. But I don't think I'm going to play this. Yeah, oh man, red was really open. Oh well. Oh well. I'm not going to play another Early Winter, so I'll take the Seed Pod Squire. But I'm unlikely to play it. Take the Otterball Antics, unlikely to play it. Do we have any birds? We do have birds. We have triple Plume Creed Escort. Is this a bird? Okay. I think it's worth playing as a finisher, probably. Yeah, I think a lot of the problem, the biggest problem with this deck was just the fact that we probably were fighting others for, like there's definitely at least one other Dimir drafter, and that probably slowed us down a little bit. Our mana is really, really bad. So this gives us 9 blue and 8 black. Is this an 18 lander? It could be. Let's take a look here. Pawn Profit with 9 sources. Is that even good? Is Bellowing Crier just better in most instances? Also, the big crab didn't table either. You know, I think I'm probably going to cut an expensive card, and I'm not sure whether or not I like the Glide Dive Duo or the Night Fisher better. This is harder to cast. I do have some birds. But, like, what's the payoff? You get a 1/1? What's better with this? I can get it back with the Mudflat Village. The Drain is relevant. All right, I'm going to cut the Night Fisher over the Glide Dive Duo. I think the life gain might be a little more important here with the Augur. This triggers the Harbinger. So let's go with something like this. And am I confident in this deck? Absolutely not. The biggest thing with this, the biggest problem with this deck is my mana. Just too many double blue and double black cards. So I really would have liked a Bell and maybe another Uncharted Haven. But it's okay. We'll give this a whirl and see how this goes. Now, before round 1 starts, I did want to say if you've been enjoying all of this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, the best way to do so is through my Patreon channel. It's patreon.com/paulcheon, and I do want to give a special shout out to all the patrons. Thank you so much for all of the support that you provided. Without all of you, I don't think that I would be able to keep making these daily videos. So thank you so much. All right, round 1 with our decent blue-black deck. We'll see. There's just a lot of cards I haven't played with before, and I'm curious to see how it all plays out. On the play here, yep, this was what I was concerned about. Consumed by Greed is super hard to cast with Mudflat Village, but we can cast a lot of other things, so maybe we just hold off on it anyways. We can go turn 3 Moonstone Harbinger. They have a Rallier, so that seems good. And then next turn, if we don't find a land, probably just go Pearl of Wisdom. They're mono red so far. And the Harbinger will trade with anything. Like, they might go Might of the Meek here. No, what is this? Playful Shove? What just happened? Okay. Sick bluff attack. We missed on the Pearl of Wisdom, which is a bit unfortunate. What the hell was that? That is hilarious. You know what the sad part is? We might still lose. That is the sad part about all of this. Look at this. What am I supposed to do? I mean, I had 3 lands, and then over 4 draw steps, drew 0 lands. Give me a land. Okay. All right, so my plan here is to chump and then use Feed the Cycle to finish things off. I don't know what it is that I actually want to kill here. They need to stop double spelling. Okay. What do I want to kill? Is it the Battler or the Elder? I don't think I'm double spelling all that often, so I think the Elder is more annoying. And of course they have a way to protect it. They're going to protect it and I take 2 damage. Yeah, this is just an absolute beatdown. Alright, Mind Drill Assailant is the only play for us. They can attack us with everything still. And this is the crazy part. Like, they literally threw away their creature and we're still losing. Ugh. It's gross. I'm going to use Dire Downdraft. Force them to use their mana. Can also gain life, but I just don't have the mana. Oof. Brutal. Now it's a lot worse of an attack for them. Let's see what they do. All right. We're at 3 life. Yeah, I mean, it can't. Let's just play out the Glide Dive duo. Pad our life total. Jeez, that's... Ugh. Okay. What do I do? I really want to kill this, and I do this, probably. Yeah, that's... This was an extremely frustrating loss. I'm not gonna lie. Like, that is... Losing in this manner, like... Where... They had well-timed tricks, but, like, they literally threw away a creature, and we just... Like I said, we had, like, 4 or 5 draw steps at finding land number 4, and that stumble alone... Like, the turn where we play the Pawn Prophet, like, if we were able to go land number 4 and just play anything relevant, I think we're pretty favored there. But because we basically took a turn off to play the Prophet, it was just really bad for us. And they had to come and get it. All right. 2 islands, 2 swamps, Bellowing Crier, Long Reverse Pull, Dire Downdraft. Certainly going to keep this. Got the turn 2 Crier. Probably can just hold off on the Long Reverse Pull. Oh, better turn 2 play. Turn 2 Pawn Prophet even. Ooh, they have an even better turn 2 play in Kitsa. Like, I don't need to be super concerned about being able to cast Consumed by Greed next turn, I don't think, so... Thought Shucker, okay. I guess they're going to be able to get Threshold at some point. Alright, no point playing out the Crier right now. I can just keep up Long Reverse Pull and also Dire Downdraft. Wow, they pitched Treeguard Duo. How good is their hand, is my question. They pitched Treeguard Duo. That's insane. That is absolutely ridiculous. Now what do they have? I hope it's not like a Plumecrete Mentor or something. Wow, they chose to keep it. That's really interesting. Alright, let's play out a Bellowing Crier. Keep up Long Reverse Pull. Discard a Swamp. And pass. Spellgyre, sure. I suppose I could have countered that, but then I gift them a card anyways. It's like, doesn't feel that great. I think for the most part you want to use this to just counter a creature spell. Wait, they don't want to copy that card? Huh. Okay, well, we'll counter that one. Wix Patrol is a good draw. Yeah, so I'm going to play out the Mind Drill Assailant here because I want to use Consumed by Greed. Like, ideally, what I want to set up here is a Wix Patrol, trade, and then Consumed by Greed to get back Wix Patrol. Does that not seem like maximum value to you? It seems like maximum value to me. Honorable Antics is an odd inclusion in blue-green. They must have a very spell-heavy deck. Alright, well, we're gonna be able to kill Kitsa. They can't really attack us. And we'll have Threshold. Well, no, we'll be very close to Threshold. Kitsa down. Wow, no loot. I have... Ooh, that's a really cool thing I can do. If they have a removal spell, I have Consumed by Greed to get back Plume Creed Escort in response. That's a nice little trick. Okay, a Kicked Finch formation. Sure. Alright, so they're getting in for 3. Wix Patrol gonna attack. Moonstone Harbinger is not bad. I can also attack with Mind Drill Assailant. Because I can Surveil, put a card in my graveyard, and it hit for 5. Yeah, this is great. And I'm going to do it anyways because I have the Tidecaller Mentor that I'm going to play to bounce this Otter, I think. So why don't we do that? Just put a card in the graveyard. Don't care what it is. Yeah, I know it's a removal spell, but this gets in for 10 damage. And then we get to play this as a tempo play. Kill a token. And yeah. Now, I mean, we're like representing almost lethal here, right? If they're trying to get in disguise... Like, we have a very, very formidable attack on the ground next turn, and we still have Consumed by Greed as an option if they kill something that we have in play right now. And as I mentioned before, I have the option of using this as a combat trick. If they, let's say, play a Polywallop on my turn, I can Consume by Greed, get back the Plume Creed Escort, and then protect my creature against Polywallop. Now, they have 6 mana, so I do need to be mindful of the Moose. But I have the answer for the Moose this time. The Moose will not be loose. Not today. Not today. Oh, jeez. But you know what? Oh, jeez. 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 They just played Season of Weaving. Oh, my. How many cards do I have? I'm at 9. I am not going to play that Darkstar Augur just yet. I'm going to play it when I'm like super ahead on board. But I have enough things to play. So this is nice when you need extra cards, but... And I'm holding on to the Wix Patrol in case they play something bigger, right? So I'd rather just use the Mentor to kill the Flyer. And, you know, this is enough for me. Like, I'm happy with these creatures in play. And then next turn we can go like Assailant plus Pawn Prophet or the Bellowing Crier. But if they play something big, then we can go ahead and play Wix Patrol. Alright, so Tempest Angler and another Otterball Antics, okay. Into a Thought Shucker, maybe? I mean, this is probably worthy of a Wix Patrol. Oh, wow, that's a really good turn. All right, we were not able to find something big. I was hoping to get lucky. I still have a fish to chump block with. Oh, they can give it flying. Oh, that's really bad. Yeah, you know, I should have just used Consumed by Greed, I think. Oh well. Oh, this is not good at all. Oh my. What do I do? I can Consume by Greed and get back Moonstone Harbinger. So they sack this, and then the Harbinger blocks here. Or I can get Tidecaller Mentor and bounce this. And put another good threat into play. All right, we'll go with the Mentor. But I'm not super confident on this. The problem is, like, the flyer... Like, I needed to just cast Consumed by Greed on the previous turn instead of playing out the Wix Patrol. Like, that could end up just being the death of us. What on earth is this? Well, they can turn it into a 2/4, so I'm just going to double block. Okay. Okay. Alright, we are at 1 life. We are at 1 life. I kind of want to do this. Oh, what you got? Azure Beastbinder, Pearl of Wisdom. Those don't really help me. They do need to block my Wix Patrol. What does this do? Whenever you cast a non-creature spell... I guess it has to be this card. I might have to play Darkstar Augur here. That's crazy. I'll play Bellowing Crier just because I want the extra power over the Pawn Prophet. At this point, it doesn't matter. Plume-Creed Escort was good. That was good. Certainly attacking with this. Do I want to attack with the Mentor as well? Because I have the blocker for the Valley Floodcaller. Okay. Let's attack. Now what I want them to do is double block with Finch Formation and Valley Floodcaller. But... Alright. We have Plume-Creed Escort available here. They have a Bellowing Crier and an Azure Beastbinder. I would rather have them just draw the 1 card here instead of 2 off the Pearl of Wisdom, which is why I did this. Alright, what you got? Oh, it's a fight spell. Well, good thing we found the Plume-Creed Escort, so they don't have a lethal attack. Wow, what a close one. I mean, I have to block both. I have to block both. And then they can play the Azure Beastbinder and still chump my Wix Patrol. No, 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 no. Then they die, right? So this blocks here, this blocks here. One of my creatures has Menace, right? So they're dead. Wow, what a close one. What a close one. Oh, we drew the Glide Dive duo anyways. Okay. Woo! Yeah, I think the really big misstep I made in that game was the decision to play the Wix Patrol. For whatever reason, I didn't realize how big that Otter was. I thought it was a 4/4, but it looks like they actually chose to put a counter on the Otter for some reason and give me a fish. And that ended up being really good against Wix Patrol. It was actually very good because I had a Wix Patrol for 4. So, heads up play by the opponent and bad play by me. This Mudflat Village, it will be the end of me. I think I should just play Swamp. I honestly feel like I should just play Swamp. With double Consumed by Greed, this is just... Like, my late game's already pretty good. Alright, let's play Pearl of Wisdom. Alright, we drew a Swamp at least. Please do not play Plume-Creed Mentor. I would be very sad. Long River Lurker is fine. Yep, they get to loot again. They discarded a Plume-Creed Escort. That's... So, sorry, not Plume-Creed. The Plume-Creed Mentor is the card that I was thinking about. I'm going to play the Mind Drill Assailant here. Just keep playing out creatures and... It's good on this board, right? It's good on this board. Like, I know they could have a Banishing Light or whatever. Or a Repel Calamity. Mockingbird. Sure. Wow, their frogs are like super untargetable. Now the question is, do I run out this Glide Dive duo? I think so. It's like... I'm just trying to envision what the worst possible thing that could happen here is, and I think it's just them killing Glide Dive duo, which is fine. And I still have another blocker. So I do think this is still probably pretty good. And the fact that their best play was a Life Creed duo is definitely good for us. And now I'm just going to pass and do nothing. Play around some counter magic. And we have an active Mind Drill Assailant along with Spell Guider available. So... I'm just going to start looking to build Threshold here. Sure. Is this a frog? It is not. Oh, they have Shore Up as well? Alright, well, I'm still going to play this. If they have Shore Up, they have Shore Up. Alright, no good attacks. The Mind Drill Assailant's almost a 5/5. Night Fisher, that's a good one. Alright, certainly going to go ahead and go with Consumed by Greed here to get this Fisher off the battlefield. Do I have anything worthwhile getting back? Yeah, Tidecaller Mentor certainly seems good enough. I will attack with Wix Patrol first. And maybe even with the Mind Drill Assailant. I think this is kind of a free attack. Although it's a decent blocker too. So I'll just attack for 5. Alright, and then... I just don't know if I want to get this going just yet. I'm going to just play this Harbinger for now. I just have so much stuff to play, I don't need more gas. Targeting the frogs kind of stinks, but maybe they can play something else. I imagine the blue-white deck doesn't have too many frogs. So these two fly. Calamitous Tide, okay. The nice thing is this Glide Dive duo literally just blocks everything, so they just can't attack. Do I want to do anything about this? No, this is fine. Alright, this has Ward 1. I don't want them to copy anything, though. Oh, why did you tap like that? Ugh. Actually, they have 4 cards. You know what? Whatever. Let's just play out all. Like, these tricks are going to be good anytime. Just like play out whatever they need to play. Everything see, this is just... I hate this design. It's so miserable. Also, they just... Wait, why did they not play the Elder first? Okay, well... Never mind. That is their fault. That is their fault. Oh, what do I want to do? Do I want to counter this? Yeah. It's just a good tempo play. Ties up their mana, and I get to continue attacking them. No way. All right. That's a lot of Plume Creed Escorts, I'm just going to say. Let's get aggro, shall we? So the reason why I'm attacking like this and not casting Consumed by Greed immediately is I can cast Consumed by Greed if they go for a double block, and the Warren Elder will die. Let's get back Wix Patrol. Okay. And what do I want to do here? I guess now I can probably just run this out. I don't really need to Offspring it. If they counter this, it's fine too. Okay. That's actually good. It's actually better that they countered that, because then now Wix Patrol will just resolve. Once again, they have no ground creatures in play. Oh, is this a Wrath? Okay. All right. We got that one. Look, they even had like the signposts uncommons, but blue-white is just a little underwhelming. And our deck's pretty good at kind of grinding through all that stuff. We have good removal and whatnot. Okay, 2-1. Started out a little rough, but maybe we can... Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, let's not... Let's just do that. I just don't think Mudflat is worth it here. I'm not sure. Maybe I should just play 18 lands. What do you all think? Should I just play 18 lands? My deck did seem pretty mana hungry. I should lead... Actually, I have Long River's Pull and Cruel Claw's Heist, so there's no actual correct answer for what I should be leading out with. I'm gonna choose the more aggressive creature here. I'm not gonna have Threshold anytime soon. So the way I look at it is I get to get in for some damage early, and then later, if this dies or trades, I can get it back with Consumed by Greed, and ideally by that point in the game, I can get it back, or they just kill it. That's the other... Man, I really wish one of these swamps was a lily pad village. Whew. Silly me. Silly me. What is this hand that they kept, by the way? I mean, you gotta have a play this turn, right? Oh, the old naked tree guard duo. All right, let's get in. Obviously, they can hit us for 3. I was trading 2 for 3, but we have the life advantage here, so it's not too bad. Hopefully they don't have a fight spell here for the Glide Dive duo. They sure do. Wow, another land. Wow, 18 lands would have been a terrible idea. All right, so gonna just offer the trade here with the duo. If they have another bite spell, it is what it is. Did they have a raccoon? No. We drew 9 lands. Let's get back Glide Dive Duo. Take 1. Do we have like a big card advantage card? I guess Cruel Claw's Heist is not bad. I think this card's actually just better to play than Glide Dive Duo, so I'm going to play it. It doesn't get Take Out the Trashed. It doesn't get Aggregate Assaulted. And I'm also just, I have infinite mana, and I'm interested in just smoothing out my draws. Like, they can't have any way to kill this here. I've never seen anybody play that card. All right. Peerless Recycling. Are they going to attack me? I guess it's a free roll. Oh, that's gross. Sure. I mean, we get 1 Surveil here still. I'll keep Dire Downdraft. Let's go like this. Glide Dive Duo. Do I just bounce this Tree Guard Duo when it attacks me? It's a little bit unfortunate that I find this now. Ah, yeah. I'm actually going to take this all because I can just... I want to Dire Downdraft whatever the Brambleguard Captain targets. What is this? How do they have 2 plays there? Oh my gosh. The timing of these 2 spells is just so unfortunate. Oh my gosh. I think we just double block the Tree Guard Duo. And we have so much mana, I guess I just keep up Dire Downdraft. Yeah, okay, we drew 10 lands. I mean... Ah, fun game! Fun game! If they draw a 4 mana card, we're probably dead. I mean, I guess we could have not blocked with the Assailant, but I don't know. I didn't feel like we were in a position to just take 3 damage there. So... They're probably going to keep it on top, but... Alright. We go to 2, and they have a Junkblade Bruiser, and they have a Brambleguard Captain as well. I don't know how I'm going to come out of this. I need like a Wix Patrol. Yeah. Or... land number 11. Great. Great, great, great. Oh, yeah, some frustrating losses. Kind of the mana screw game in the first one, and now the flood game here. A little bit rough. A little bit rough. All right, 2-2. I actually did sideboard. I boarded in a land still, and boarded out a Long Reverse Pull. Gonna keep this here. We have 2 lands, Plume-Creed Escort, Cruel Claw Heist, and Pearl of Wisdom. I'll lead with the Swamp, because I think I will play Cruel Claw Wisdom if I do draw Swamp, but we didn't draw Swamp. So if we don't draw land number 3, obviously we're in trouble. Osteomancer Adept. Okay. Well, I'm going to play out the Plume-Creed Escort just as a 2-mana card. Let's draw a land here, please. Thank you. I'll just leave this to trade. I think I'm just going to Pearl of Wisdom to smooth out my draws because I just want to make sure that I'm able to cast Wix Patrol. Like, if they kill my Escort, they kill my Escort. You know what I mean? It's fine. They don't have anything to get back anyways. I'm going to name Black for this because I have Consumed by Greed plus Cruel Claw Heist. I will try to save the Consumed by Greed if I can because getting Wix Patrol back seems really good. I will just use the Dire Downdraft here on the Osteomancer Adept. They'll probably put it on top. Oh, they did not. Okay, nice. Alright, let's do this and gift them a card. What you got? Scales of Shale, Kindle Spark Duo, Steam Path Charger, and Cindering Cutthroat. You know the unfortunate part about this is that Scales of Shale is the most annoying card for me. Because they're just going to cast it for 1 mana. But I also just don't want... Oh, man. This is actually super annoying. Do I just have to take the Scales of Shale? I think so. Yeah, that's really annoying. It's just such a good, cheap, efficient effect. I'm going to take 3 here. They're probably going to play the Cindering Cutthroat, and then we can just kill that with Feed the Cycle. Never mind. They drew Glide Dive Duo off the top. Alright, let's play Wix Patrol. Kill the Charger. Okay, that was a good mill. So their hand is decent, but hey, Scales of Shale plus Wix Patrol is no laughing matter. That is some sweet, sweet value. And they don't really have good plays here. They can play the Cutthroat and give it Menace, so that's a thing. Nope. They're just going to play Steam Path Charger. No attacks, presumably. And we drew the Mudflat Village, which is pretty cool. Is it instant or sorcery speed? Instant speed. So I have an instant speed Plume-Creed Escort available to me. I don't think this is a position where I want to race. So I'm just going to wait. Okay, more than happy with this. Yep. That thing having Menace is really annoying. Oh, boom. That was perfect. Alright. Mind Drill Assailant for us, so now we have the double block available. And I'm at 9, so I will chill out for one turn. See what they do. Remember, I do have Scales of Shale available. They're giving it Menace. I can double block, and I have Scales of Shale. So I don't know that this attack is very good. Unless they have a... Yeah, they went to their second main. Alright, so let's activate. Get the land out of there. I'm not going to upkeep. And that is a Consumed by Greed. I think I'm just going to attack with both. Why not? I can kill something with Consumed by Greed, and I can Scales of Shale here, just to gain a bunch of life. So that's kind of my plan. Let them decide what they want to do here. I mean, they're gaining a bunch of life, but these things hit really hard. And like I said, I'm going to be able to gain 7 life here, go to 16, and then I can just use Consumed by Greed to kill the Cindering Cutthroat, and then we're talking about 10 damage versus 3 damage. I'm going to target this because it's harder to kill this. Like, they need to have exactly early winter. The real question here is whether or not I want to give them a card. Like, do I just want to cast Consumed by Greed and... Like, is random card better or worse than Plume-Creed Escort? I'm not gonna take the Plume-Creed Escort here. Because the Orator is what they drew for the turn. Now, if I attack with the Wix Patrol now, they double block, so I think I'm just going to attack with the Mind Drill Assailant. Although I guess I could technically blow them out by casting Consumed by Greed. But I'd rather not. I'm just going to attack for 5. If they block with the Orator and get back Glide Dive Duo, that's fine. I guess I should have also potentially been okay with this trade and then just play that, but... Alright, Glide Dive Duo. And this should be really hard for them to beat. Okay. Well, at least we're gonna win half our matches. At least we're gonna win half of our matches. Gonna hope to win more, but I think we're like break even on our rank so far. Not the best Darkstar Augur deck, I'll say. It's much better in a proactive deck, like a black-red deck or a black-white life gain deck, I think. Even a black-green deck with food. In fact, this is the worst color combination for the Darkstar Augur. But we didn't know this is where we were going to end up. Alright, so that's an Uncharted Haven. That's really interesting because I want to play turn 2 Cruel Claw Heist. I guess that works. Now that I drew the island, I can just name black here. Shoreline Looter. Ugh. Yeah, I'm going to do this to try to hit a removal spell. What on earth is this hand? Plume-Creed Escort is really annoying. They have Into the Flood Maw. They just have... This is just like the most annoying mono blue nonsense ever. And what do I want? The problem is I don't want to take a creature because they can get it back with Into the Flood Maw. Is it Patchwork Banner for me? Is it Into the Flood Maw? Alright, I'll take the Patchwork Banner because it's just the strongest card. Recognizing that this looter is gonna do its looting things for a while. Here, next turn, they're probably going to play Tempest Angler. So I'm just going to run out the Moonstone Harbinger. And then we have like Patchwork Banner plus Plume-Create Escort as an option. What creature type do I name in my blue-black deck? Like rats, probably? I'm trying to think. We have like 2 bats. We have some number of rats. They get to play Light Shell Duo next turn. Oh, okay. They got rid of the Plume-Create Escort. That's good. Because now we can go Patchwork Banner and then Plume-Create. Actually, I might just name Bat just because this turning this into a 2/4 seems pretty relevant against their board, right? Yeah, and then we just drew a Bat, so... I don't think I want to play Darkstar Augur here just yet. Yeah, because next turn I can play this for 2 and then play Plume-Create Escort as backup. So let's do this and name Bat. And then this gives us the option to protect it. And the thing is, they discarded Into the Floodmaw and Plume-Create Escort. Both cards that I think are very, very annoying for me. But they have 4 cards in Yard. They turbo milled themselves, I think, just to try to get to Threshold as quickly as possible for the Shoreline Looter. I really hope they have some kind of removal spell here, like Conduct Electricity on the Harbinger. That would be incredible. I would love to see it. I would absolutely love to see it. All right, no attacks. Just with the Looter, of course. But they have a perfectly sculpted hand. And we know that their hand is great because they discarded Plume-Create Escort and Into the Floodmaw. And they discarded Tempest Angler. Like, their hand is absolutely ridiculous. Alania, that's not good. I'm just gonna try to buy myself at least 1 turn here. And just pass. Like, this gives me at least 1 turn to try to find Consumed by Greed or Wix Patrol, maybe. But if they play it here, we're just in trouble. I mean, it looks like blue-red spells was very, very open for our opponent. Do we do it again? All right. And I think I'm gonna just play this one out as a one of, anyways. Just because I feel like I need to get the card flow going. I would have kicked it too if I could, but I can't, so. But this allows me to try to find, again, more outs to the Alania. They now have Threshold for the Looter. Alright, they played Alania. We take nothing, good. And a Tide Color Mentor, which currently does not do anything. All right, Plume-Create Escort. You're going to have to do some work here. We'll see what they try to do. They played their land. Don't you have to discard a card? Oh, okay. Well, they didn't even use the Lania. Okay. All right, Plume-Create Mentor that. So they can't really attack other than just the Shoreline Looter, which is good. And I'm going to play the Mentor out next turn regardless, just to minimize the damage that I take. All right, we need to find some action, though. Some removal. Okay. That is good. Okay. Here's the real question. The real question is, do I kill Alania or do I kill Shoreline Looter? Like, I don't necessarily think that this is super trivial. This lets them go super wide. This isn't hitting me for too much. So let's kill the Alania, I guess. Let's play the Mind Drill Assailant. I'm going to play all my lands, and I'm going to pass. Does this need to attack or not? I'm at 12. I want to just keep everything back, just to keep my life total somewhat high. Let's see what they do. Another Splash Slasher? Oh my gosh. Alright, well, then we might just be dead. A second Splash Slasher is devastating. The thing is, I don't want to upkeep Surveil because I just feel like I need to play all the spells that I draw. So if I die to this Darkstar Augur, I die to it. And I died to it. Oh. Them's the beats. Double Splash Slasher. That's really, really good. Well, you know, not all of them can be hits. Not all of them could be hits. And this time around, we definitely did not draft well enough around the Darkstar Augur. Had I done this draft over again, I think black was clearly the lane that we needed to be. But I think that I probably should have paired it with red. We saw more red. We saw that late Flame Cash Gecko. The problem was, after pack 1, we saw a Flame Cash Gecko, and then we saw a late Harnesser of Storms, which isn't necessarily a sign that red's open. And that was it. So, although that did feel like the better color combination to be in. And I think that combination is just much stronger in general. And blue-black as a color combination, I also don't think is super good unless you get really good uncommons. That's the thing. The blue commons are all bad. The way you end up in blue is with the good uncommons, and I didn't have the good blue uncommons. I had a couple of mentors. So, and I did have some escorts, which are also fine. But we didn't have the Shoreline Looters. So maybe this was still not correct to try to move into blue. That's the thing. Like I said, I've been pretty critical of blue as a color in general. I do think I take back what I said before. I was a little harsh on it because I did poorly in the Arena Open. I think blue is playable. I think it's a great support color, but it needs to be open, and a lot of your blue cards needs to be uncommons. I think that's kind of the recipe to having a successful blue deck. And for us, last pick Dire downdraft, sure. It's fine, but it's not great. And so I just don't think we necessarily had all the proper pieces and ultimately ended up with the finish that this deck probably deserved. I would say this deck is somewhere in the 3-3 to 5-3 range. Obviously, we had a couple of pretty frustrating losses, but the last one, we just straight up lost. Our opponent just beat us with a nice Otter deck with a turn 2 Shoreline Looter. We had a good number of removal in our deck, but we just couldn't find an answer to the Looter. And that is the power of the Looter. It will take over the game. It allowed our opponent to sculpt the perfect hand and beat us down with those Splash Slashers. And I mean, we did have, 6 blue uncommons, but still don't think it was enough. I think a lot of it was just because we passed the Vren, and that kind of set us up to not quite have all the things that we needed for a successful blue-black deck. But you live and you learn. Probably should have been red-black, especially because with our first pick, too. We first picked Darkstar Augur, and when you first pick this card, you really do want to be a little bit more proactive. You want to keep your curve a little bit lower. You don't want to be pairing this with a bunch of slow blue cards like Dire Downdraft. That's not necessarily your recipe for success. You want Ravine Raiders and 2-drops and Flame Cash Geckos. That just goes so much better. So I should have done a better job of building around this. White didn't seem super open, so black-red probably is something that I should have really heavily looked to being instead of this blue-black control deck. But that's what we learned. I first picked the Augur and drafted the worst possible Darkstar Augur deck, and now I learned, and I'll keep my curve lower and draft a very, very different deck when I try to build around this card. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more daily videos just like this. If you've enjoyed this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. It's patreon.com/paulcheon. Additionally, this video is brought to you by tcgplayer.com. Check out tcgplayer.com for all your TCG cards and sealed product needs. If you want to pick up cards for your local FNM, if you want to pick up booster boxes to crack some packs and open some sweet cards, that's the place to go. Make sure you click that affiliate link in the description below. Last but not least, check out heavyplay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. Heavyplay.com/paulcheon will get you 10% off your first order. They've got really great deck boxes, playmat, sleeves, all kinds of stuff. Make sure you check them out. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.